call themselves men of honor who join hands to achieve said goals. But I prefer to call them health restorers because their finished pharmaceutical products improve outcome of patients. Established in 1997, the National Association of Industrial Pharmacists of Nigeria, NAIP, is a professional body and technical arm of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, with membership open to all pharmaceutical manufacturing, importation, and distribution companies duly registered.
I give you 1 month. Just 1 month. I don't want any excuse. No excuse from you, Rosie. 1 month. Don't text my thing. Don't stand here. Get out of my sight. Get out. Rubbish. Tell me one minute. What is this nonsense?
Hey, madam. Don't say anything. How much you going to do?
Economy is bad.
Please, one is don't be. Take a look.
Good afternoon.
Customer.
Oh, I won't buy it.
Yeah.
You doctor prescribe for.
Okay. Get up.
Get this particular one.
Yes. As loud as you. I'm not prescribe this one for you, sir. That's down now. I think you come now. I think you will be very good. Using a 9,000. 50,000.
From what I do? You don't prescribe my product and I am changing it.
Customer, don't plenty for my shop. Don't plenty. Customer, don't be 20. And the price that you give you last price, 9,000. Customer, stand up. Don't be giving you 2 days. And then my price, maybe bring everything come out for you. They plenty, wristwatch, phone, laptop, they plenty. Never come back up to let down. I beg you, please. Sorry, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'll go buy.
Hello. This is what happened now. Didn't you see what happened now? You can't buy the product because they are expensive. What do you want me to do? Madam. I don't have any money now. Okay, this is what will happen next week. I'll call you. What do you want me to do? Chinedu, carry your dog. Come. Next week, I'll call you. I'll call you next week. Don't worry. I've told you my own already. Next week. Next week. Bye you. Aladi. What do you want me to do now? Economics is bad. Allah.
To go through black markets in order to source for products. And even sometimes when these products arrive, let's say a product of 3 years
Shelf life.
Okay, yes, 3 years shelf life. It could have spent almost 2 years through the process, declaring agents and all the regulatory bodies. And by the time it gets to the CEO himself, he has about less than a year to sell. The urgent need to sell, the pressure, he forces it on. As we've seen it on the NSL. And then the national sales manager also passes the aggression onto the sales rep. Everywhere is intense and there's urgent need to deliver. The sales rep also passes the aggression onto the retail pharmacist. The retail pharmacist is also struggling to make sales due to the purchasing power of the patients. And at the end of the day, who suffers it the most? The sick patients. Because they leave the pharmacist without getting the proper drugs, the prescribed drugs for their treatment. Yes, some of them will be lucky and they will live. Most times, some will die. We understand that this is a business that sometimes has to deal with numbers. But in a depressed economy like ours, pharmacists, as men of honor, how can we find a solution to this situation? What can we do?
Their primary role is depicted by that short drama piece to make essential drugs available to all Nigerians, but their inability to realize that goal due to high cost of production and other operational challenges to advance local manufacturing is a huge burden. It is to bridge this gap that the topic choice, the role of industrial pharmacists in a depressed economy, opportunities, challenges, and solutions in providing essential drugs and other sub-themes such as professional collaboration and coordination, as a panacea to industrial growth, technology, regulation, and data centricity in strengthening local capacity as pharma industries evolve, and the role of pharmacists in vaccination intervention were carefully selected.
We have a maximum period of 10 years to produce. This is to encourage local production of essential medicine for the sake of self-sufficiency in drugs and medicine security at large. I want to thank you all again, everyone, for being here today to be part of this very important conference, especially our special guests, captains of industry, and indeed all participants who have raised this occasion live or virtually. I assure you that your time spent here will be well spent. I wish NAIP leadership all the best. I thank you for your invitation, and I thank all the delegates for approving, especially the ESCO members, for me to be here as the chairman of the case. May God bless the Republic of Nigeria. May God bless Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria.
The totality of healthcare will not be credible without medicine. And as primary providers of healthcare with primary focus on medicine, the team is so hard that a school like Business Student and us will love to be part and parcel of development of the human mind that will raise the leadership role of pharmacists in the healthcare sector. Bearing in mind that pharmacists have been over-trained and significantly developed to be able to handle multiple things. It's on this note that we wish the Nigerian Association of Industrial Pharmacists, for which I have been a member since 1981, very great success in all your endeavor. God bless you.
In our midst are delegations from NAFDAC, Customs, NDLEA, and Central Bank of Nigeria. I, on behalf of the Conference Planning Committee, appreciate your presence. We hope to develop a communique that will serve as a working document after the conference. The timeliness of our day 2 topic, the need for technology, data centricity, and the effect of regulation as our pharma industry evolves cannot be overemphasized. There is a burning desire to fully embrace technology, data centricity amongst our regulators, NAFDAC, Customs, NDLEA. We must raise the consciousness towards the Association of Industrial Pharmacists and the pharmacists in the academia for collaboration and coordination for greater industry.
The most common challenge we have in the country today is honestly poor access to foreign funds. Most of us who are into importation can hardly find the necessary foreign to do their trade. This is a very big problem, and we are told that the radical problem requires a solid decision. So I want to call on the powers that be to help us address this key challenge. And of course, when we talk of regulatory challenges, we have had plenty. A lot of our colleagues here are complaining of one problem with them. IDAM, CTD, parties have been established, one thing or the other, and we are still engaging with our relevant stakeholders to see what we can do honestly to resolve some of those issues. And of course, recently we have the pharmaceutical product marketing regulation, which is championed by PCM, and which we hope that through that venture we are going to sanitize the sales and marketing operation in the program. We are not going to relate, ladies and gentlemen, but we have addressed the challenges posed by the above talking point and ensure that we successfully move every item on the part of the big trainer.
We talk about issues affecting, coming about as infrastructural challenges like power, electricity, water, and other things, that have to do with tariff and incentive for manufacturing. So these are the challenges. But we see a lot of opportunities too. A lot of opportunities are that in Nigeria we have about 200 million people to attend to, okay? And that's a huge opportunity for us. Not only for Nigeria, in the West African sub-region, we supply our products. So we have this teeming population that we can, reach if we are able to get these products at affordable rates, and then the citizenry can also buy them at affordable rates. So those are the opportunities. Also in the area of research and development of locally researched products, like what we have with NAIP. NAIP has some products registered with NAFDAC, and some other research products of indigenous research can also be developed.
The pandemic left a depressed economy from 2019 till date, if you allow me use your term, depressed economy. But after my initial expression, I would prefer saying recession, but let's go with depressed economy. It imposed lockdowns and border closures, disrupted pharmaceutical supply chains, slowing importation, spiking shipment costs. In fact, I remember before now, if you are importing anything from India or China, it's about $6,000. Am I right? 4,000? Yeah.
One container.
But now it's how much?
9.
9? 15? Yes. Just shipment of what you want to use to manufacture, resulting in closures, scaling downs, and ultimately a high cost of drugs. So it's something you just cannot afford. So it's good to know where the problem is coming from, know the challenges we are facing, and know how we should be able to tackle it. Because it might come again, maybe in different form. We have pharmacy schools that are so, we have departments that are supposed to be researching on this. We have pharmacognosy if they want it from local herbs. We have pharmtech and industrial pharmacy. In fact, that's where I have my master's and PhD. We have pharmacology. We have pharmaceutical microbiology. We have pharmaceutical chemistry. We have anything you need to research on these things. What will it take, as we see, to take the money, go to NAIP, give them solid money, go to the pharmacy schools, give them solid money, create an agency to monitor them. You give somebody 50 million naira, give him 2 years to discover vaccine.
From the drama and the topic shows at the end of the day, everything is pushed to the patient. And if the patient doesn't have enough resources to buy his or her drug, authentic drug, then the patient could die because he will look for means of procuring the drug from whatever source. That is one major problem. Then we find out that from the chain of activities, if the manufacturing of the industry will produce drugs that are trusted because of our population, we have the market, we could even supply the West African sub-region and earn money for the country in hard currency. Then, invariably, things will work, the industries will work, and the patients will benefit because they will get genuine drug. It's a sad process. Like you hear, the cost of diesel is over 800. Procuring foreign exchange to get the necessary excipients and APIs or what, active pharmaceutical ingredients is difficult. And so when you don't have the active pharmaceutical ingredient, you can't produce these drugs. And we're also calling on government to make sure that the petrochemicals that will produce these important ingredients, these are infrastructure that should be laid down, that should be enabling environment to enable these industries to do this. Medicine security is very important. COVID-19 have told us how vulnerable we are. And if we don't secure our environment to produce enough medicines, we may run into problems. One thing is definite. When you have crisis, like we had during COVID-19, people keep what they have to take care of their populace before selling out. Even if you have the money, you may not get the drugs. And so it's a wake-up call for all of us.
Nigeria is becoming too small for pharmaceutical companies to compete, to look abroad. Okay? And that's something we haven't done very, very well. The reason India is so celebrated today is because they are competitive abroad. So we should look abroad And I keep saying, if all we can get is 0.1% of the market in the United States, that is about easily $400 million. Possibly 25% of the entire Nigerian market as it is today. And I can imagine what that will do to our balance sheet individually as companies. So please, let us think big, let us extend our horizon.
After a long day of speeches on day 2 of the conference, it was a pleasure to relax by the poolside at the Country Club, Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria.
It feels great, it feels refreshing and relaxing. Coupled with the comedy, it's been a night of fun, laughter, and all that.
This is the best conference I've ever attended. There's plenty to eat, there's plenty to drink, the comedian is doing a good work. So yeah, that report feedback makes me happy.
Jesus Christ. They take 2 hours, they greet God. Going contention for
After a hard day job, it is expected that people will find time honestly to relax and unwind themselves and shake off some of the day-to-day stress and the pressures. It's always very, very necessary. There is a common saying that all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. The same thing if you engage yourself in very hard, difficult exercises, challenging, tasking exercises, you need to honestly go and relax and get yourself so that the body will also get back some of the necessary things required to function optimally.
And this gives us an opportunity to network, meet colleagues we've not seen over a year, talk, discuss other issues that are not academic. The essence of it is just to distress.
By the next morning, everyone was refreshed to continue with the conference on day 3. Though pharmacists are key players in the health sector, they cannot operate in isolation. So the event provided an opportunity for speakers to dwell on interprofessional collaboration.
A combination of the use of technology, use of activities of pharmacists who are already trained to be able to deliver in terms of primary health care. We know that a large number of doctors have left the country. Large number of pharmacists have also left. So what we are currently therefore doing is to make maximum use of the healthcare practitioners so that it becomes possible for them to play a greater role, either on fascination and to use technology to be able to prepare healthcare delivery, to prepare a better healthcare delivery for our nation.
Doctors, pharmacists, nurses, medical science, laboratory, everybody in the team, even the messenger. We cannot work in isolation. We need each other. And that is why I have been an advocate of this collaboration, so that together we can have patients at heart, so that we can serve humanity. It's not about money. But when you see all this kind of fighting, infighting everywhere, it's because of money. And when you have disparity as far as wages is concerned, this is where you have this kind of problem. But we are saying the government should be fair. Most of the time when you appoint somebody that thinks myopic, he's thinking of one group or another. I don't think if you appoint me a minister of health, I will just be a minister of pharmacists. I will be a minister of healthcare, where I will serve everybody in the team for the benefit of the patients.
Members also at the annual general meeting on day 3 before winding down with a banquet and presentation of awards to deserving individuals.
I'm chairman of the opening ceremony, and you all agree with me that he has chaired this occasion pretty well. Most of the time, when things have gone this way, the hall would have been half empty, but it's over that we still have a full house. And it's the 5th annual conference of NAIP, and sir, congratulations. This plaque to you. I speak at the first plenary session at the 25th annual conference of NAIP. I'm sure you agree with me that the delivery was superb.
who take? Who bought? Is the presence of what about who bought? Is the presence of who bought it? If you miss road for Lagos, you don't see anybody else. Like Alabama, you go out, you will miss road the more. You say, my brother, you know what you ask your mama, and your mama they are shakara too much. You ask the road, please, I'm going to Previdence in GIA. They will shout as if they have the problem. Yeah! Say, you say, hey, she want me. Ah, you never work. You ask president like say that they are problem. Hey, welcome.
From the opening ceremony to the closing ceremony, there was no dull moment. I indeed agree with members of the organizing committee who had promised at the pre-conference news briefing that for whatever reason everyone was coming for the conference, they will not be disappointed. The NAIP 25th Annual National Conference, EKO 2022, will not be forgotten, especially with the plan for a NAIP house, improvement on the Pharma Park project, and a working document to take the association to greater heights.